So over the course of a couple of years, I tried intermittent fasting, low carb diet, low calorie diets, keto diet, nutritarian diet, Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen, G-bombs. I tried all of these different diets in search of hitting the perfect diet. Trying to find the perfect diet for weight loss wrecked my metabolism and caused me to gain 25 pounds in 2 years. I'm gonna tell you my story so you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. Then I'll share a plan with you that's helped me eat well, burn fat, and feel great. Let's dive in. So in 2020, I became a health coach and I was able to do a deep dive into a whole lot of topics and especially diet. I got hyper focused. I did a lot of genetic testing. I did a lot of labs. And what do you know? I found the perfect diet. Okay, so maybe I found 12 perfect diets and I gained 25 pounds in the process. I'm gonna show you what happened and help you not do what I did. It all started in 2014. I weighed 163 pounds. I had abs, a receding hairline, and no kids. That means no dad bod, of course. I was young and I could eat or drink whatever I wanted, and I would hardly gain a pound. Even if the scale went up a little bit, I could do a quick paleo or keto diet and drop the weight in only a couple of weeks. Fast forward to July 2022 and the scale showed over 200 pounds. I couldn't believe it. I had been trying my best to eat the perfect diet. I was even doing a skinny fat workout plan. But the weight just wouldn't come off. What went wrong? Why was I gaining so much weight all of a sudden? In my early 20s, I watched a lot of documentaries from Super Size Me, Forks Over Knives, That Sugar Film, you name it. I tried to watch it just to learn because I love to learn and I care about my health. But when I became a health coach, I started getting into trouble because one patient would be on this specific diet, low carb, and their labs would look good, their recoveries were great. Then I'd see another one who's on the Mediterranean diet. Their labs look good, their energy levels are great. And I was just experimenting way too much. So over the course of a couple of years, I tried intermittent fasting, low carb diets, low calorie diets, keto diet, nutritarian diet, Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen, G-bombs. I tried all of these different diets in search of hitting the perfect diet and getting perfect labs and getting my weight under control. Over time, what it did is it just sent my metabolism and my appetite out of whack. Dad bod took over. I gained 20 pounds, my body fat went up, my lipids went up, and I just started praying like, Lord, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not losing weight? I'm doing everything I think is right, everything I can, but I can't figure it out. What I realized is I had actually become enslaved not only to food, but enslaved to this idea of dieting. So I would restrict calories or restrict food groups. I'd be so hungry later that then I would binge eat almonds or pistachios or cashews or peanut butter. Those were good, healthy fats. At other times, I'd get so frustrated that I would start binge eating junk food, Debbie cakes and snacks, because if the diet's not gonna work, why try it?
Look, I'm laying all in it. Woo! I'm about to put hands on this puppy chow. I'm about to put a hand in these M&Ms. I've had a long day. I've had a bad night of sleep. I deserve a little bit of sweets, don't I? Just a little bit.
And over time, what happened is my metabolism got slowed down. I had to just stop all the dieting and figure out what I was doing wrong. I was depressed, discouraged, and the scripture that says their God is their belly seemed like it was written about me. I felt like a glutton some days. On other days I was fasting. Nothing seemed to work except doing a ton of cardio, and that just wasn't sustainable. I finally discovered Trevor Kashey as I was reading the book, The Comfort Crisis. It does have some choice language, so be careful if you're sensitive to that. But nonetheless, reading the book, I found this guy. Trevor Kashey's a scientist. He's brilliantly minded. He's very scientific, and he said, it's basic. Get enough protein, keep track of how many calories you're taking in, and build your food around that. And if you can eat the right amount of calories, the right amount of protein, and fill in healthy foods the rest of the way, you can be okay. The simplicity of what Kashey was teaching is what caught my attention because it was super simple. If you get your protein in, you get your fats in, and then you build some roughage, some vegetables, some fruit, then an occasional snack here or there, you're gonna be okay. And that's exactly what I needed, and that's exactly what I switched over to. So I want to share with you what I do every day now. It's 5 basic focuses. Number 1, I focus on getting enough protein every day. For me, I set that number to my goal weight, which is about 175. So I try to get 175 grams of protein in. Number 2, I try to eat around 150 grams of carbs each day. I don't strictly count my carbs, but I want to make sure I have enough energy because on the low carb diet, I always felt terrible and I never had enough energy and I couldn't sleep well. Number 3, I eat fat as needed. I try not to overdo it on fat, and for me, fat causes me to gain weight because it's a calorie-dense food that causes me to overeat and then causes me to gain weight. I eat unlimited vegetables and some fruit. So I can eat as many green beans, as many greens, mushrooms. I eat a lot of those foods if I'm really hungry. And Trevor Kashey recommends that. He calls it roughage. Fill in your diet with roughage. They're very low calorie, they're filling, they're full of fiber, they're full of nutrients. And with fruit, as long as I eat it in moderation, I tend to do just fine. So I'll eat an apple, an orange, or some berries here and there, and it doesn't throw off my diet. And then lastly, for me personally, I track my calories. I do really well with Chronometer, and I basically just log what I eat. Sometimes I weigh what I eat so I can get an accurate measure. Other times, I just eat and I estimate. But the point is, I'm trying to keep track of what I'm putting in, how many calories I'm eating, because I tend to overeat. I tend to be a mindless eater. I think it has to do with some ADHD tendencies and some personal struggles there, but it helps me, so I do it. So maybe you want to set some goals for your life. Maybe you want to lose a little weight or eat a little better. Well, I've actually created this video to help you out. And I've also created another video to help you on rough days because we know we have rough days. Nobody's perfect. So check those out. I'll see you again soon.